Hi, I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and I have another question from someone on Quora I'm going to respond to. And the summary of the question is, how can people protect their income potential from the automation and redundancy of careers due to technology, especially non-technology professionals? Now, the description or the lengthier introduction, lays out the history of technology and its impact on people and individuals. The writer says technology is great, but what exactly should the individuals do if they choose the wrong career path? If they invested so much in training and education only to find out that this career doesn't exist anymore? Now, Americans don't remember this, but in the 1990s, we used to have this war with Russia. We used to call it the Cold War. That's different than what's going on now. And there was a time when, quote, peace broke out. And George Bush Sr. Cut back on defense spending because there was peace with the old Soviet Union, Russia. I don't remember what it was at that time. But the result was, with defense spending cuts, there were a lot of people who were doing technology-related work, programming in a language called ADA, A-D-A, that was unique to the defense industry. Suddenly, their jobs weren't needed anymore, and they were being laid off, and the technology was sufficiently unique that they had to start over again and get retraining. The impact of this is people making $90,000 a year had to go back to making $40,000 or $45,000 a year because they were now beginners at this new skill. Now, this person's a non-technologist who's asking this question. Yet the answer is pretty much the same. I remember years ago going to a workshop, and there was a facilitator talking to a fashion model. And the model was someone who had worked, it was like the #2 model in Europe at that time. But this male model comes to the United States, and he can't get any work. And the question became, what should I do? What can I do differently? And the answer was, well, when all is said and done, you can either not work here or work there. Basically, he made the decision to go back to Europe, even though he really wanted to live in the U.S. He couldn't find work, and rather than hit his head against the wall, he needed to adapt and go back there. For this individual, I basically would say, you have a very simple choice. Once your career is being taken away from you, you need to either get yourself up to speed with the newest technology, even if you have to pay for it, even if you have to take out loans to pay for it, even if you need to pay for more education, and your firm refuses because they don't care about you. You're in charge of your career, remember? Or you have to start fresh doing something else. So at the end of the day, this is what your choices are. You can sink slowly and wait until you're 55, 60, 65 or older and be forced out because what you do is unimportant. Or you can take the bull by the horns. My goodness, that's the third cliche I've used in this video. You can take the bull by the horns and attack the problem and do something about it. Really, those are your only choices because you can't stop the tides of change. That's number 4. Eventually what starts to happen is the river starts getting more forceful, and it's no longer a new trend, it's the norm. And if you're in the old environment, well, you're just going to get overrun, as you well know. So I think you knew this answer, but you asked for it, and that's what I'm giving you. You can either fight it by getting more education and training, even if you have to pay for it, or surrender and get overwhelmed by it. That's really it. I'm Jeff Altman. Hope you found this helpful. Come over to thebiggamehunter.us where there's a lot more that you can watch, listen to, or read that'll help you find work more quickly. Also, connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/thebiggamehunter. And like I said, let's connect there. I don't accept connection requests from recruiters or profiles that look like they belong to a scammer or spammer. Jeff Altman here. Have a great day.